Willkommen zum Lyfe Podcast.
Welcome to the Life Podcast. Yes, here again, CJ Alton. I'm your host. Today I have a very, very, very special episode. Um, she was originally in the Melanin Perspective series, and she spoke about her experience as a Afro German living in Germany. And now I have her back again to talk about her experience traveling from Germany to Ghana. So please welcome Lynn. Lynn, how you doing?
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here again. I'm fine. I'm cool.
Good, good, good. How's the weather in Germany?
It's cold, but at least there's a little bit sun.
Okay, a little bit of sun. All right, no problem. So, um, last time we had a conversation, we talked about Germany, what it's like living there as a Black German. Um, and we also talked just a bit about your heritage, that was originally from Ghana. And so between that last conversation and between this conversation, or this conversation today, you were able to travel to your parents' homeland and really your
Yeah,
homeland, of Ghana. So
finally.
I thought that was really special, and I wanted the folks to be able to, hear about your experience, learn more about Ghana, and just, learn about, what you experienced there. So I definitely want to get right into it, and I'll start off with this. Um, Tell us again about your heritage from Ghana.
My parents are born in Ghana. They come from Ashanti region, but I'm born in Germany. And when I was a baby, I was in Ghana. It was 1999. And then last year, I was again in Ghana. Yes. So, I'm from the Ashanti tribe, like my parents. Yes, and so then the capital city of the Ashanti tribe is Kumasi. So we mostly spend time there.
Okay, cool. So the Ashanti tribe. All right.
Yes.
I always get a kick out of that. You know the singer Ashanti.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
her.
Yeah, yeah. So, at least here in America, that's what we think of when we hear the word Ashanti, but that's really cool to hear that. And you mentioned Kumasi. We'll get more into that. You mentioned you were there as a baby, so technically it wasn't your first time.
Yeah, as a baby I was in Ghana, but like it's the first time I experienced it and I seeing what's going on there.
Yeah.
That's why it was a very special trip for me.
Yeah, exactly. So, this I don't want to say it's your first time, but it's your first time in as an adult.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like my first time as an adult.
Why did you want to go to Ghana? Why was it important for you to visit Ghana?
Yeah, because yeah, for me, it's important to see where you're coming from. Because to be honest, in Germany, I don't feel 100% home
Mhm.
because the German society will never see me or accept me as a full German, even though I'm born here, I grew up here. And I was always really connected to my Ghanaian culture. When I was growing, it's getting more and more, but because like I was always somehow connected to Ghana because the way my parents like educate me, brought me, so and I think it's important to see where your parents are coming from, where you also come from. I was always hearing like stories about Ghana, people went to Ghana, but it's another thing if you go there by yourself, if you see everything with your own eyes.
Mhm.
And I know also, I feel like also this trip will be healing for me because I will
Mhm.
feel something which is missing in my life because mm, like imagine my whole life I will not go to Ghana. I will always have thoughts. I will always feel like, okay, how would I feel? How will it be? What will I see? Or maybe what can I learn also about myself? So
Yeah.
that's why this trip was really, 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 really important for me, and I'm very happy and grateful that I could do this opportunity. Yes, so even when I talk to other people who didn't go to their home country, I always tell them, please go there. It will help you a lot.
Yeah. No, I think you mentioned a couple of important things. Knowing your heritage, knowing who you are, choosing a place that you feel more comfortable in. And then you mentioned healing as well, being able to heal just mentally, and psychologically. I get those same aspects when I visit Jamaica, so it's definitely very understandable. Um, you mentioned Kumasi was the city that you visited. Um, did you visit any other city, or was it Kumasi that you pretty much stayed in?
Mostly Kumasi. I arrived first in Accra. We were staying there in a hotel, and then we went to Kumasi with the bus for 4 hours. But it was very comfortable. It was a comfortable trip to Kumasi. And then when like we wanted to go back to Germany, we went from Kumasi to Accra Airport again. Yeah,
Okay, all right. So you saw just a little bit of the capital as well of Ghana, Accra.
exactly.
Okay. I know you mentioned to me that you prefer Kumasi though to be in because Accra is like it's the capital, so it's just a lot going on, right?
Yes, and I don't like the air. It's a bit
Oh,
polluted. You can smell it, and I don't like it so much.
y-
That's why.
yeah, yeah, the pollution and all of that stuff. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
You get a lot of that in Los Angeles and stuff like that, so I
Mm.
understand. Okay. Um, so I mean you mentioned just a little bit about it, but tell us about your travel experience from Germany to Ghana. So how long was that whole entire trip by the time you got to Kumasi? So when you left Germany to settling in Kumasi, how long was that trip?
It was 6 hours. Six
Oh,
hours, yeah,
oh wow. So it was a
exactly.
was it a straight flight?
It was not straight. Like we were from Hamburg to Brüssel and then from Brüssel to Accra. Yeah.
Okay, where does that second? Where'd you say?
Brüssel is in Belgium.
Oh, okay, okay. So okay, cool. So there's flights from Belgium to Ghana.
Yes, and also many African countries. I saw that Togo, Ivory Coast, Cameroon. Because
Oh,
maybe because in Belgium there are many Africans. Yeah, that's why.
how did you feel when you finally landed in Ghana? Like when you stepped out the plane and
Oh
you're
my
in the
God.
airport, you see all these black people. What was that feeling like?
Unbelievable. Like in
Yeah.
a dream. Like, is it really happening? Is it really happening? Oh, so like the thing is, we were in the airport. We did all the check and security stuff and something like that. And then when we left the airport, we went outside. The first thing I smelled was oh, like light soup or something like that. The Ghanaian soup was like, wow. That was the first thing I smelled when I landed.
Wow.
And I was like, wow, finally I'm in Ghana. It was so hot. I was like, whoa, I'm not used to that heat. That was in Accra, yeah, exactly. Because in Kumasi it was not that hot. It was more with wind, so it was more comfortable for me.
Mm.
Also, it was an incredible feeling. I could not really describe it. I was just happy. Oh my God, finally, I'm in this country. Wow.
Yeah. I could imagine the vibe and the feeling of seeing black people and I got that same vibe in Jamaica where it's just your people and there's
Yeah,
nothing like you said, it's unbelievable. You can't even explain it.
yeah, it's so unusual to be in a country where just black people are. I'm not used to that. I was in America before and then I was in a school with mostly black people, yes. But like to be in a country where just black people live, it's wow, it was crazy. And yeah, and when I was for a longer time in Ghana, I really felt home. I don't feel like a foreigner. Of course, they can see that I'm from Europe, but I don't get a bad treatment because of that or something like that. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so basically, who did you stay with?
You mean in Kumasi?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were staying at our own house.
Okay, good. What a luxury. That's really cool.
I was feeling like a princess because it's a big house with 7 rooms
Oh,
and
wow.
I have an own bathroom.
Wow. Yeah, yeah, how could you not want to go back there? You're making me like, can I move in? Um, that's really cool. That's really
If you
cool.
want to come to Ghana, you're welcome.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm gonna take you for that, take you up on that. But just that trip, right? Now going on the bus and going to Kumasi, what were you seeing? Like what was that looking out the window and how was that?
Yeah, yeah. The funny thing is, I have to make a side note. First, I was a bit mad that we go with the bus because I wanted to take a flight because it's more quick instead
Mm-hmm.
of sitting for hours in the bus. But I didn't know that the bus was so comfortable. You could watch TV, you could charge your phone, you had Wi-Fi.
Mm-hmm.
It was, we had also air conditioner. It was really, really comfortable, even more better than some buses in Germany. And yes, and even though after 12 hours we did a small break and then we continued with the journey, it was very interesting because you were also seeing a lot of villages,
Mm-hmm.
many like stands where people sell something. It was very interesting to see. My mom said she wanted me to go with the bus so I can see everything, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
really grateful that we did it like that. It was very, very interesting to see it because you just see it on TV, and now I saw it on real life. Like it was really, really nice to see also the different cities. I asked my parents which city is that, and then they explained a little bit. Yes, and I was just waiting. Well, when are we in Kumasi?
That's amazing. Good. So you just saw the culture of Ghana.
Yes, 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 yes.
Okay. So now you reach your destination. How long was your trip, by the way? How long were you going to be there?
Yeah, from Accra to Kumasi, 4 hours.
4 hours. But I mean, like, how long was your vacation in Ghana overall?
Okay. I think nearly 4 weeks, 3.5 weeks, something like that.
Great. Okay, cool. So what can you tell us about now you're in Kumasi? You're in your big home. You're a princess now, right? What was that first day like? Like the first full day where you woke up and now it's almost like the country is yours. Like what was that first day? What was that feeling?
I was just happy and relaxed. I was like, wow, I'm really in Ghana with
Yeah.
my own room, with my own bathroom, everything. And yeah,
So what did you do that first day? Did you go out? Did you do anything that first day or
for the first day, I think I was just seeing a little bit the city. To be honest, during Ghana, I didn't go out that much because I felt like my body and my mental state, like I had to really relax from the stress in Germany because Germany is really stressful, and I
Mhm.
felt like I really needed a lot of breaks,
Yeah.
chill, chill my room, sleep, yes, and eat a lot also.
Yeah, yeah, of course. You want to enjoy all the foods and stuff. That's really
So delicious.
interesting. Yeah, no, that's interesting you say Germany is stressful. I feel like America is stressful. I don't know if it's
I
for the
think the
same reason.
I
Go
think the
ahead.
Western countries are in general stressful.
Yeah. Yeah, what do you mean by stressful now? Like why?
The bureaucracy here is crazy. They want like to fill paper every time. They're like I mean the how you call it, the offices, the government. If you need something from them, you have to fill a lot of paper. Like even few days ago, I had to send them over 10 pages of paper. It's so annoying. It's really stressful, and like Germany is so fixed on rules. Like they're
Mhm.
not flexible at all. Everything must be on rules, rules, rules. If you don't follow the rule 100,000%, then it's very difficult for you. It's not flexible. And I'm a person of, I want to be flexible also, but in Germany,
Yeah.
it's not really possible. And Germans are so focused on just work, work, work. They don't know what's like to be like free to
Laid back.
chill with friends and family. The social life is not really there. It's just work, work, and all these bureaucracy things. Yeah.
Wow. I feel like we live in the same country. Like everything you're
Western
describing,
country.
it's really America. That's all we do is work. We don't have too much of a laid back lifestyle. And I know this because Jamaica has a very laid back, slower paced lifestyle. So,
Yeah, not
uh,
true.
yeah, so let's get back to that then. What was so special about Kumasi? What did you enjoy about it?
First, our house and our garden. Because we have a big garden, we plant tomatoes, cocoyam, how do you call plantain also, yeah, and other vegetables. So that's what I really love. And I love the weather because the weather in Germany, when it's summer, it's too hot. The air so like it's like sticky, you cannot breathe so well. But the air in Kumasi was so nice. The
Hmm,
weather, I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the nature in general. Enjoyed the time of the family, everything. Yeah.
that's amazing. Amazing. Okay. Now the people in Ghana and Kumasi, did they accept you even with your accent, German accent?
Mhm.
Did they accept you?
Yeah, that surprised me the most
Mm,
because some Ghanaians who are born in Ghana and came to Germany, they make fun of my accent. They judge me because I don't speak the language fluently. But in Ghana, it was totally different. Nobody judged me. They were even surprised that I can speak small tree.
mm,
And so they really accepted me, and especially because, like, also I'm a dancer, I'm a passionate dancer, and then they will say like, okay, you're real African because dancing is a big part of our culture.
mm.
Yeah, no, I really felt accepted, and that's also the reason why I felt home.
I
That's
got you.
crazy in Germany, where I'm born and where I'm born and I grew up here. The people don't really 100% accept me. In the childhood, it was worse. Now it's better, but I know how Germans see black people mostly, but
Yeah.
in Ghana it was not like that. Like I really felt accepted and everybody was nice to me. Everybody was really friendly. Even people they don't know you, they say hello to you. I just see more this social life, socializing.
What would you say was your favorite day? Like, what was your favorite part of the trip?
My favorite day. I enjoyed the day where I was going out with my father, uncle, and his friends. We were going to a restaurant. And there was also a live band at the restaurant. We were dancing. That was really cool and nice. And then after we went to another, like, it's not a restaurant, but it was like an open, not open, outdoor party.
Mm,
This day I really enjoyed. I had a lot of fun. I was dancing a lot. That was great. It was a vibe. Yes. I think
okay.
this one is my favorite. But also like the first day when I arrived, we were dancing outside of the house. Like that was also really cool. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think these days were my
Yeah.
favorites.
Yeah. So just family, music, the culture.
Yes, yes, yes,
How's
yes.
the food in Ghana compared to
Oh my God. It was so delicious. Normally I have some issues with my stomach, but in Ghana it just disappeared.
Yeah, I could imagine. Yeah, sometimes it's like it's no comparison sometimes the food, Um, and so really I want to ask you about this part, which for me it's like always sad, but can you describe your mental like that last day in Ghana? Can you explain what your vibe and your
The last day I was very sad. I was like, wow, so quick. It
yeah.
was so quick. Like I have to go back to Germany. I was very sad. I was really sad. I wished I could stay there for 1 month more because the 4 weeks were also short because like I needed like many weeks to just chill, relax because of the stress in Germany, and then the next month I would like go out more and do more things. So it was really quick. So I was just sad because remember when I arrived in Germany, it was so cold. I was freezing. Oh my God.
Mm, I understand. Yeah, there's there's a when I'm in Jamaica and I'm headed to the airport, like there's this drive, and I always hate that drive. I hate that drive. Just like leaving, it's the worst feeling because you really feel at home and you feel like you're leaving home, you know. So
Yeah, that's it.
yeah, I can understand that sadness. But with that, I'm sure everything ended up well. You had that great experience.
For
And,
sure.
we talked privately a little bit about, the potential of moving there and stuff like that. Would you consider moving to Ghana in the future with that experience?
Yeah, I think so because my family, everybody's there. There's really like the community because I was visiting my cousin. She lived with her father and also her kids are there. They all live together. And I think it should be like that, because in Germany it's like when your parents are old, you send them to, I don't know the English word for that. You send them to like a certain house where older
Yeah,
people.
like a senior home.
Senior home, exactly.
Hmm.
And, I'm not a big fan of that. And like I said, we have a big house there, so and I live there with my parents together and other family members, so it would be great. And also the weather in Ghana is very good for me. It's good for my skin. My hair was growing more quick. The food is there. The food there is very good. Yeah, I just felt home. I felt relaxed. Because in Germany, I'm mostly very stressed and also often irritated. But
Yeah,
in Ghana, I could really breathe. I could take time for myself.
yeah,
Yeah, I could also, I felt like in Ghana, I could express myself more because I feel like in Germany, you have to hide yourself a little bit. Like if you're an expressive and extroverted person, it's kind of, in Germany, it's considered as strange or too much or something like that. Like in Ghana, I could just dance on the street. Nobody will care. But in Germany, they will look at me like I'm mad.
right. Like crazy. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
all of that you just explained, it really was the next question. I was gonna ask the differences between Germany and or Ghana, but you pretty much said it all. The food, the weather, the people, the culture. I mean, just everything from top to bottom, it really feels different. I feel the same way with the Jamaica. So, um, I definitely, you know, understand more of, I'm not sure if you know Marcus Garvey or whatever, um, his Pan-African movement, and he wanted Black Americans to go back to Africa. And he said that's where your home is, that's where we can be comfortable. Um, when I had my experience in Jamaica and now hearing your experience from Germany to Ghana, I really think he was right. Um, you know, but
Definitely.
but I guess just leaving it with this, is there any type of advice you would give someone that's considering visiting Ghana? They might be kind of fearful. They might be kind of scared to visit. They might not have the connection that you have. But is there any kind of advice you can give them, just, making them feel more comfortable?
So yeah, also a reason why I consider to move to Ghana is also because it's a secure country, like a safe country. Um, it's the second safest country in Africa. That's
Oh,
what I was
wow.
reading last time. Yeah, in Ghana, you are not afraid to go out, that something can happen. No, like I was never afraid. Okay, I was never alone, but still, I will not feel afraid. We're really safe. There's no war or something like that. It's a peaceful country. Advice. I think it's all very important to be open-minded because you will see just cultural differences from your home country, which you're not used to, but still just be open-minded. That's important. Mm, Try to learn a bit about the culture, but in Ghana, there's no reason to feel like unsafe or fearful. No, 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 Ghana.
Yeah, no, it sounds good. It sounds great. I feel very comfortable now that hearing your experience. visiting Ghana. I definitely want to make that happen very soon. But hearing about your experience is great. I really appreciate, the time that, you're able to give us, explaining your experience, and really the cultural differences. Thank you so much. And hopefully we can continue these conversations and talk about different aspects of, Ghana and Germany and America and you know, the Caribbean and all that stuff and just continue to build this coalition.
Yes, for sure.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you so much for your time.
No problem. Thank you too.
All right then. Peace to you.